2020 has been a year full of ups and downs, followed by more downs and then even more downs. Every year has brought something increasingly more insane to the table, and I've watched enough disaster movies to bet that July is either going to be Aliens or Yellowstone. But why watch a disaster movie when you can play a disaster movie instead? Destroy All Humans is an action game / X-Files simulator developed by Pandemic Studios, who also made the original Star Wars Battlefront games before EA, also known as Eldritch Abomination, bought and subsequently murdered them. You play as Cryptosporidium, a Furon alien whose goal is to, well, destroy all humans. Kinda. Crypto's race has cloned themselves so many times that they're now on the eve of extinction. Luckily, human DNA just happens to be similar enough that collecting enough of it can save the Furons. After Crypto-136 is sent to Earth by his leader Orthopox, and subsequently 360 no-scoped by the US government, Crypto-137 is sent to find him, while collecting as much DNA as possible. Throughout the story, though, it's slowly revealed that a mysterious organization called Majestic is trying to take over the world. The FBI, NWA, and even the President are all being controlled by Majestic, and it's only a matter of time before they get to you next. Orthopox is also voiced by Richard Horvitz, which makes this the closest thing that we have to an Invader Zim video game.
Could you do me a favor and not creep me out?
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Gameplay consists of you infiltrating different parts of America and doing anything you can to find that delicious DNA. These areas include the middle of nowhere, Santa Barbara, industrial mining town number 428, Washington, D.C., and even the middle of nowhere at night. Some missions have simple plots, like impersonating a politician and rigging local elections to bring you closer to infiltrating the government. Alternatively, some missions will have you breaking into government facilities and exposing plans for mutant super soldiers. Or, if you have some free time, you can just run around and cause as much destruction and chaos as possible. Scattered throughout every level are challenges that can earn you extra DNA, which you're able to use to upgrade your weapons, abilities, and even your saucer, which I'll get to later. Because of the way this game is structured, some people tried to compare it to Grand Theft Auto when it first came out. Some people also enjoy sniffing glue in their spare time, and the Venn diagram between these two groups of people is just a circle. Although this game is outlandish and insane, another thing to keep in mind is that it also takes place in America. Anybody who sees you will automatically scream and run away in terror, prompting the police to arrive and shoot you on sight. After disturbing enough peace, the military will show up with their 17th century long rifles, and eventually, the FBI will arrive to ruin your day with their reverse-engineered Furon guns. This means that you'll have to either put them to sleep, hypnotize them to cause a distraction, or become a skinwalker by disguising yourself as a greaser and West Side Story your way around town. At least, until a G-Man disables your disguise and murders you in the street. Because this is a semi-open game, there are multiple ways to approach any situation. Let's say you want to commit some classic mass murder. If you can dispatch enough enemies, disguise yourself, and calmly slip away from the crime scene undetected, your wanted level will start to drop. This works because none of the NPCs seem to understand object permanence, which means that if you can't be seen, it's like you were never there. And all of those cars that just exploded a moment ago? Blame it on the communists. But one interesting thing to know about the NPCs is that they can almost tell where you are at any given time. Cop cars will pull up in front of you and start searching your immediate area, but they won't directly attack you because they can't prove that it's actually you. And just like that, my American immersion is broken. If that approach doesn't work, you could use your jetpack to fly away from the crime scene. Well, until it runs out of gas and sputters out like an old Chrysler LeBaron on a 10-degree incline. Actually, speaking of cars, another interesting thing to note is that nobody knows how to drive. Cops, the army, and even Majestic agents will regularly Tokyo drift their way into people's kneecaps, and I love it. No alien invasion is complete without high-tech alien weapons. DNA can be extracted by either forcing it out of a human skull using psychokinesis, or using the anal probe. After charging it up and watching them scream in terror for a few seconds, their brainstem plops onto the floor, ready to be harvested. The Zap-O-Matic shoots a concentrated stream of lightning that slowly electrocutes a target, and it can even be upgraded to shoot chain lightning, putting its danger level somewhere between microwave silverware and one of those plasma ball things that they sell at target. The disintegrator ray is exactly what it sounds like, and the ion detonator is a bit misleading. It sounds like it would be a standard grenade launcher, but in reality, it transforms every human in its effective range into clones of Sans Undertale. But what happens when you run out of ammo? Don't worry, because Crypto spent years at the library, and his brain is now so big and full of ridges that he's ascended to a higher level of existence. This means that he can do things like steal people's thoughts, or use psychokinesis to launch people, cars, and tanks into the closest wall.
My mind says Rock Hudson, but my body says Doris Day. How saucy of me.
If there's anything more sensual than polyester, I haven't found it. You know, there sure is a lack of color in this town.
Speaking of that, another element of the 50s that this game perfectly emulates is that everything was made of either rubber or nitroglycerin. Your flying saucer is also its own weapon of mass destruction. Sure, the death ray is like fun or whatever, but why stop there? The sonic boom is an LRAD that vibrates everything out of its way, and the quantum deconstructor? It's literally just a mini nuke launcher, and it's awesome. Although they're all fun, all of these weapons pale in comparison to the Abducto beam, which is also known as the car trebuchet.
Skip it up and down.
And the best part? Everything is destructible. See a car you don't like? Just destroy it. This bowling alley? Pfft, more like blown up alley. Desert satellite arrays? Atomized. This is easily one of the most mindlessly fun games that I've ever played, and the satirical writing of the story characters and NPCs make you really feel like you're infiltrating Cold War America. Overall, Destroy All Humans gets a nuclear football out of 10, because once you start it up, you're only a few button presses away from destroying America. Thanks for watching. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go and make some tinfoil hats.